The abduction. The gentle whir of Zara's telescope motor filled the crisp night air as she made minute adjustments, her eyes fixed on the starry expanse above. At 12 years old, she stood out among her peers, not for her petite frame or her wild curly hair, but for the intensity in her dark eyes that spoke of an intellect far beyond her years. Come on, she muttered, her fingers dancing across the telescope's controls. Where are you hiding? Exoplanet Koi 456.04. It was well past midnight, and the Thompson family farm stretched out in silent darkness around her. Her parents had long since given up on enforcing a bedtime for their prodigy daughter. They knew that when Zara set her mind to something, be it complex mathematical equations or hunting for distant worlds, nothing short of a supernova could deter her. A sudden gust of wind rustled through the cornfield behind her, carrying with it an odd metallic scent. Zara frowned, lifting her head from the eyepiece. The hairs on the back of her neck stood on end as an eerie silence fell over the farm. Even the crickets had gone quiet. That's when she saw it. A shimmering distortion in the air, like heat waves rising from sun-baked asphalt, but moving with purpose. It descended from the sky, growing larger and more defined with each passing second. Zara's heart raced, her mind a whirlwind of excitement and fear. Was this it? The moment every stargazer dreamed of but never truly expected. As the distortion neared the ground, it solidified into a sleek, silvery craft unlike anything Zara had ever seen. No rivets, no visible propulsion system, just smooth, almost organic curves that seemed to absorb the moonlight. Zara's scientific curiosity overrode her fear. She fumbled for her notebook, scribbling furiously as the craft touched down without a sound. A seam appeared in its side, widening into an oval entrance. Light spilled out, bathing the cornfield in an otherworldly blue glow. And then she saw them. 3 figures emerged, tall and slender, with skin that shimmered like mother of pearl. Their elongated heads housed enormous, almond-shaped eyes that reflected the starlight. Zara's breath caught in her throat as one of the beings turned its gaze directly upon her. In that moment, as alien eyes met human, Zara felt a connection spark across the cosmic divide. There was intelligence there, curiosity that mirrored her own. But there was something else too, an urgency that sent a chill down her spine. The alien raised a multi-jointed arm, a device in its hand pulsing with energy. Zara opened her mouth to call out, to her parents, to anyone, but no sound came. The world around her began to blur, the starry sky stretching into streaks of light as her consciousness faded. Her last thought before the darkness took her was not of fear, but of wonder. What equations, what cosmic secrets might these beings hold? Zara awoke to a symphony of alien sounds and sensations. The air hummed with energy, carrying scents she couldn't begin to describe. She blinked, her vision clearing to reveal a room that defied earthly architecture. Curves and angles blended seamlessly, the walls pulsing with soft, bioluminescent light. She sat up, realizing she was on some sort of examination table. Her clothes had been replaced by a form-fitting suit that seemed to shift colors as she moved. Panic threatened to overwhelm her, but Zara took a deep breath, forcing herself to analyze her surroundings with scientific detachment. The door, if you could call the seamless portion of the wall that suddenly arised open a door, slid apart, and one of the aliens entered. Up close, Zara could see the intricate patterns swirling beneath its translucent skin, like living circuitry. "Hello," Zara said, her voice steadier than she felt. "I'm Zara. I'm from Earth. Can you understand me?" The alien tilted its head, regarding her with those enormous eyes. Then, to Zora's astonishment, it spoke, not with sound, but directly into her mind. "Greetings, young one of Earth. I am Sen of the Xentry. We have been observing your world for some time." Zara's mind reeled. Telepathy. The scientific implications were staggering. "Why? Why did you take me?" she asked, both terrified and thrilled by the alien presence in her thoughts. "You are unique among your kind. Sen replied. Your mind resonates with a frequency we have not encountered in humans before. We believe you may be the key to preventing a great calamity. Before Zara could ask what calamity, Sen gestured to the wall. It shimmered and transformed into a view screen, displaying a star chart unlike anything in Earth's astronomical records. Your solar system lies in the path of the Void Eaters, Sen explained, a note of urgency in its mental voice. They consume all in their path, and they are drawn to developing civilizations like yours. We have fought them for millennia, but our efforts have only slowed their advance. The star chart zoomed in, showing a mass of roiling darkness moving inexorably towards a familiar blue planet. Earth, Zara whispered, her eyes wide. How long do we have? By your measurements, less than one of your Earth years, Sen replied solemnly. Zara's mind raced. The fate of her entire world resting on her shoulders should have crushed her, but instead, she felt a surge of determination. This is what she had been preparing for her whole life, even if she hadn't known it. Every late night poring over advanced physics textbooks, every hour spent solving seemingly impossible equations, it had all led to this moment. What can I do? She asked, meeting Sen's alien gaze with resolve. How can I help save Earth? Sen's mental voice carried a mix of relief and admiration. Your mind has the potential to understand technologies far beyond your world's current capabilities. We will teach you, train you in the ways of cosmic warfare and defense. But be warned, young Zara. The path ahead will challenge everything you thought you knew about the universe. Zara slid off the examination table, standing tall despite her small stature. I'm ready, she declared, her voice firm. For Earth, for humanity. I'll do whatever it takes. As Sen led her from the room into the vast, gleaming corridors of what she now realized must be a massive spaceship, Zara's mind whirled with possibilities. Quantum mechanics, dark matter manipulation, faster than light travel. The secrets of the cosmos were about to unfold before her. She spared a thought for her parents, a pang of guilt for the worry she knew they must be feeling. But as the ship's massive engines hummed to life, carrying her towards a destiny among the stars, Zara knew this was where she belonged. Earth's fate, and perhaps that of the entire galaxy, now rested in the hands of a 12-year-old girl with an extraordinary mind. The cosmic chess game had begun, and Zara was determined to make the winning move. The Galactic Academy. The Xendri ship emerged from hyperspace with a silent ripple of distorted spacetime. Zara pressed her face against the viewport, her eyes wide with wonder as she beheld the Galactic Academy for the first time. It wasn't a building or even a planet, but an entire solar system transformed into a vast learning complex. Massive ring-shaped structures orbited a blue-white star, each one dedicated to a different field of study. Thousands of ships of various alien designs flitted between the rings like cosmic fireflies. It's beautiful, Zara breathed, her reflection in the viewport showing a mix of awe and determination. Sen's mental voice resonated in her mind. Welcome to Nexus Prime, young Zara. This is where the greatest minds of the galaxy come to learn and innovate. And now, it is where you will prepare to save your world. As their ship docked with the outermost ring, Zara felt a flutter of nervousness in her stomach. She had always been different on Earth, her intellect setting her apart from her peers. But here, among the best and brightest of countless alien civilizations, would she measure up? The answer came swiftly and unexpectedly. As Zara stepped into the grand atrium of the Academy's central hub, a hush fell over the diverse crowd of alien students and teachers. Hundreds of eyes of all shapes, sizes, and colors turned to stare at her. She could feel the weight of their gazes, sensed their curiosity, and was that awe. A tall, willowy being with iridescent wings fluttered forward. When it spoke, its voice was like wind chimes in a summer breeze. Incredible. A human child, yet her neural pathways. I've never seen anything like it. Before Zara could respond, a robust, rocky-skinned creature rumbled. The prophecy of the cosmic prodigy. Could it be? Whispers rippled through the crowd. Zora looked to Xen for explanation, but the Xendri seemed just as surprised as she was. An authoritative voice cut through the murmurs. "That's quite enough gawking, everyone. Back to your studies." The crowd parted to reveal a being that radiated ancient wisdom. It appeared to be made of pure energy, its form constantly shifting like a living nebula. This was Archon Zix, headmaster of the Galactic Academy. "Young Earthling." Zix addressed Zora directly, its voice resonating not just in her mind, but in the very atoms of her being. "You have arrived at a crucial moment in cosmic history. The Void Eaters approach, and with them, a darkness that threatens to engulf us all. But in crisis, there is opportunity. Are you prepared to push the boundaries of your understanding, to delve into cosmic secrets that may reshape your very perception of reality?" Zara straightened her back, meeting the Archon's gaze steadily. "I am, Archon Zix, whatever it takes to save Earth and stop the Void Eaters." A ripple of approval passed through the gathered aliens. Zix's form pulsed with what might have been a smile. "Then let us begin." What followed was the most intense and exhilarating learning experience of Zora's young life. Days blurred into weeks as she immersed herself in fields of study beyond human comprehension. In the physics ring, she grappled with 11-dimensional string theory and the manipulation of dark energy. Her human perspective allowed her to approach problems from angles the alien scientists had never considered, leading to breakthroughs that left her teachers stunned. The biology sphere introduced her to the intricacies of xenogenetics and the possibility of restructuring DNA to enhance human resilience against cosmic threats. Zara's ethical concerns sparked passionate debates among her alien classmates, many of whom had never considered the moral implications of genetic manipulation. But it was in the strategy dome that Zara truly shone. Here, holographic simulations allowed students to wage entire galactic wars. Zara's unconventional tactics, born from a childhood of chess tournaments and strategy games, consistently outmaneuvered her alien opponents. Remarkable. Her combat instructor, a grizzled veteran of the Andromeda conflicts, marveled. "She thinks in patterns no battle AI has ever produced. The Void Eaters won't know what hit them." As the weeks turned to months, Zara's reputation grew. Aliens from across the galaxy sought her out, eager to learn from the human prodigy. She formed unlikely friendships. A hive-mind fungal entity became her study partner, while a gaseous being from the Crab Nebula appointed itself her personal cheerleader, changing colors to match her moods. But with her growing abilities came a gnawing worry. Each day brought Earth closer to the Void Eaters' arrival. The holographic countdown in her quarters was a constant reminder of what was at stake. Late one night, unable to sleep, Zora found herself in the observation deck. The transparent dome offered a breathtaking view of the galaxy. Countless stars sprawled out before her like a cosmic tapestry. "Heavy thoughts for one so young," a voice said behind her. Zara turned to see Archon Zix, its nebulous form shimmering in the starlight. "Archon," Zora said, bowing her head slightly. "I was just thinking about Earth, about my family. They must think I'm—" She trailed off, unable to finish the thought. Zix's form rippled sympathetically. "The burden you carry is great, young one, but remember, you do not carry it alone." The Archon gestured, and suddenly the stars before them shifted. A familiar blue marble appeared, spinning slowly against the backdrop of space. "Earth," Zara whispered, her throat tight with emotion. "Your home," Zix agreed. "And now, the focal point of a cosmic drama. But look closer." The view zoomed in, and Zara gasped. A shimmering field of energy surrounded the planet, barely visible but unmistakably there. "What is that?" she asked, leaning forward in fascination. "A temporal stasis field," Zix explained. "We've slowed the passage of time on Earth. While months have passed for you here, only days have gone by there. Your family, your entire planet, they are safe for now." Relief washed over Zora, but it was quickly replaced by a new determination. "Then we have more time than I thought. Time to prepare. to innovate. Zix's form pulsed with approval. Precisely. And tomorrow, we begin the next phase of your training. We've discovered an ancient artifact, a relic of a long-lost civilization that once pushed back the Void Eaters. Deciphering its secrets may be the key to Earth's salvation. Zara's mind raced with possibilities. An ancient artifact, lost civilizations. The universe, it seemed, had far more wonders and dangers than she had ever imagined. As she left the observation deck, her step was lighter, her resolve stronger. Earth was counting on her, even if they didn't know it yet, and Zara was determined not to let them down. Little did she know her greatest challenge and her true cosmic destiny was about to unfold. The cosmic chess game. The ancient artifact pulsed with an otherworldly glow, its intricate patterns shifting and changing as if alive. Zara stood before it, her brow furrowed in concentration. For weeks, she had pored over its enigmatic symbols, cross-referencing them with every known galactic language and mathematical system. "It's not just a weapon," she murmured, her fingers tracing the air just above the artifact's surface. "It's a key." Archon Zix hovered nearby, its nebulous form crackling with interest. "A key to what, young one?" Zara's eyes lit up with the thrill of discovery. "A key to understanding the Void Eaters themselves. Look here," she pointed to a series of interlocking glyphs. "These aren't just symbols. They're a map of the Void Eaters' neural network." The revelation sent shockwaves through the Galactic Academy. The Void Eaters had always been thought of as a mindless, all-consuming force. The idea that they possessed a complex neural structure, perhaps even a form of consciousness, changed everything. As news of Zora's discovery spread, the atmosphere at the Academy shifted. Hope, an emotion many had thought lost in the face of the impending doom, began to flicker anew. But with hope came new challenges and unexpected dangers. One evening, as Zora was heading back to her quarters, a shadow detached itself from the wall. Before she could react, a hand clamped over her mouth, and she felt herself being dragged into a hidden alcove. "Don't scream," the voice hissed in her ear. "I'm here to help." The hand removed itself, and Zara spun around to face her assailant. To her surprise, she found herself looking at a human man, his face etched with worry lines and his eyes darting nervously. "Who are you?" Zora demanded, her mind already calculating possible escape routes. "Dr. Marcus Chen," the man replied hurriedly. "I was part of a secret Earth organization studying extraterrestrial life. We detected the Void Eaters' approach months ago, but no one would believe us. Then you disappeared." Zara's eyes widened. "You know about me?" Marcus nodded grimly. "Your disappearance caused quite a stir. But that's not important now. Listen carefully, Zara. Not everyone here wants you to succeed. There are factions within the Galactic Alliance who believe Earth should be sacrificed to buy more time against the Void Eaters." The revelation hit Zara like a physical blow. She had sensed tension among some of the alien races, but this— "Why are you telling me this?" she asked, her voice barely above a whisper. "Because Earth needs you," Marcus said, his eyes pleading. "And because I made a promise to your parents that I'd find you and bring you home." Emotions Zara had been suppressing for months bubbled to the surface. Her parents, her home, the life she'd left behind. It all came rushing back. But with it came a steely determination. "I can't go back," she said firmly. "Not yet. Earth needs me here, now more than ever." Marcus opened his mouth to argue, but alarms suddenly blared throughout the academy. A voice echoed through the corridors. "Emergency protocol activated. Void Eater scout ship detected in Sector 7. This is not a drill." Zara's heart raced. "It's too soon," she muttered. "We're not ready." But ready or not, the cosmic chess game had entered its next phase. Zara raced to the strategy dome, her mind already formulating plans. As she burst through the doors, she found organized chaos. Alien strategists from a dozen worlds argued tactics, their voices rising in a cacophony of clicks, whistles, and rumbles. "Quiet," Zora shouted, her voice cutting through the din. All eyes turned to her, and in that moment, she felt the weight of galaxies on her shoulders. But she didn't falter. "We've been approaching this all wrong," she declared, striding to the central holographic display. "We've been thinking of the Void Eaters as an enemy to be defeated. But what if they're not an enemy at all? What if they're lost?" Confused murmurs rippled through the crowd. Zora manipulated the holographic controls, bringing up the neural map she deciphered from the artifact. "Look here," she said, highlighting a specific pattern. "This structure is reminiscent of a navigation system, but it's degraded, corrupted." Understanding dawned on the faces and other sensory organs of the assembled aliens. Archon Zix's form pulsed with excitement. "You believe the Void Eaters are what? Lost travelers?" Zara nodded emphatically. "Exactly. What if their consumption of worlds isn't malicious, but a desperate attempt to gather resources to find their way home?" The implications were staggering. If Zara was right, it meant the galaxy-spanning war they had been preparing for might be averted entirely. But it also meant they had precious little time to test her theory. "We need to establish communication," Zora continued, her words coming faster as her plan took shape. "If we can interface with their neural network, we might be able to restore their navigation systems. But to do that, we need to get close. Very close." A tense silence fell over the strategy dome. What Zora was proposing was incredibly risky. If she was wrong, she would be delivering herself, and potentially the secrets of the Galactic Alliance, directly to the enemy. It was Sen who broke the silence, stepping forward with a determined set to its shoulders. "I will take you," the Exendry declared. "My ship is the fastest and most maneuverable in the fleet. If anyone can get you close enough, it's me." One by one, others stepped forward. The fungal hive mind offered its unparalleled processing power to help interface with the Void Eater's neural network. The gaseous being from the Crab Nebula volunteered to create a camouflage field around their ship. As the plan came together, Dr. Marcus Chen caught Zora's eye from the back of the room. His expression was a mix of pride and fear. Zora gave him a small nod. She knew the risks, but this was bigger than her, bigger than Earth even. This was about the fate of the entire galaxy. As the assembled beings rushed to prepare for the mission, Archon Zix approached Zora. "You understand what's at stake," it said, its voice resonating with both gravity and hope. "If you're wrong." "I know," Zora replied, her voice steady despite the butterflies in her stomach. "But if I'm right, we save not just Earth, but countless worlds. We end a war before it begins." Zix's form shimmered with what might have been a smile. "Then go, cosmic prodigy. Go and reshape the destiny of galaxies." As Zara boarded Sen's ship, her mind was already racing ahead, calculating probabilities, formulating backup plans. The next few hours would determine the fate of Earth and beyond. The cosmic chess game was reaching its climax, and Zara was about to make her boldest move yet. Little did she know the true nature of the Void Eaters, and her own role in the cosmic drama, was far more complex and astounding than anyone could have imagined. Earth's last stand. The sleek Exendry ship cut through the void of space, its advanced cloaking technology rendering it nearly invisible against the backdrop of stars. Inside, Zara sat cross-legged on the floor, her eyes closed in deep concentration. The ancient artifact hummed softly before her, its glow pulsing in rhythm with her breathing. "We're approaching the outer edges of the Void Eater's fleet," Sen announced, its mental voice tinged with tension. "Are you ready, young one?" Zara's eyes snapped open, determination blazing in their depths. "As ready as I'll ever be," she replied, rising to her feet. "Let's make history." The main view screen flickered to life, revealing a sight that made Zora's breath catch in her throat. The Void Eater's fleet was vast beyond imagining, a writhing mass of darkness that seemed to devour the very light of the stars around it. At its center loomed a behemoth that dwarfed even the largest ships of the Galactic Alliance. The Null Heart, whispered the fungal hive mind, its collective consciousness radiating awe and fear, the core of the Void Eater's consciousness. As they drew closer, alarms began to blare throughout the ship. "They've detected us," Sen exclaimed, its many-fingered hands dancing over the controls. "Our camouflage is failing." Zara's mind raced. This was it, the moment of truth. "Take us in closer," she ordered, her voice steadied despite the fear churning in her gut. "We need to establish a direct link with the Null Heart." The ship lurched as Sen executed a series of dizzying maneuvers, narrowly avoiding the grasping tendrils of darkness that reached out for them. Zara stumbled, catching herself on the edge of the console. The artifact in her hands grew hot, its glow intensifying to a blinding radiance. "Now," Zora shouted. She pressed her palms against the artifact, channeling every ounce of her prodigious intellect into deciphering its ancient code. The ship shuddered as a beam of pure energy lanced out from its bow, connecting with the looming bulk of the Null Heart. For a moment, nothing happened. Then, with a soundless explosion that seemed to ripple through the very fabric of space-time, Zara's consciousness was catapulted into the vast, alien network of the Void Eater's collective mind. It was chaos, a maelstrom of thoughts, memories, and emotions unlike anything Zara had ever experienced. She felt herself being pulled apart, her sense of self dissolving in the face of this cosmic consciousness. But Zara Thompson hadn't come this far to fail now. With a monumental effort of will, she clung to her identity, using her understanding of mathematics and physics as an anchor in the storm. Slowly, painfully, she began to make sense of the swirling data around her. And then she saw it. The truth that would change everything. The Void Eaters weren't invaders or mindless consumers. They were refugees, the last survivors of a universe that had already succumbed to heat death. They traveled through the multiverse, seeking a new home, but their journey had corrupted their base code, turning them from explorers to unintentional destroyers. With this realization came understanding, and with understanding, the power to act. Zara reached out with her mind, gently, carefully beginning to rewrite the corrupted sections of the Void Eater's code. Back on the ship, Sen and the others watched in awe as the writhing darkness of the Void Eater fleet began to change. The tendrils of void retracted, coalescing into more defined shapes. The oppressive sense of hunger and destruction that had radiated from them began to fade, replaced by something almost like curiosity. Zara gasped as her consciousness slammed back into her body. She stumbled, caught by Sen's steady grip. "Did it work?" she asked, her voice hoarse. Before anyone could answer, the view screen crackled to life. An image formed, abstract at first, then solidifying into a face, if you could call it that. It was a shifting mass of geometric patterns, somehow conveying a sense of ancient wisdom and newfound wonder. "We remember," a voice echoed through the ship, not sound but pure thought given form. "We were lost, but you have found us, young one. We owe you a debt that can never be repaid." Tears streamed down Zora's face. Tears of relief, of joy, of the overwhelming emotion of the moment. "You're welcome," she managed to say. "But please, my home, Earth, is it safe?" The geometric face shifted, patterns realigning. "The blue world. Yes, we remember. We were drawn to its beauty, its potential. We would have consumed it in our ignorance. But now, thanks to you, we see it for what it truly is. A jewel of life in the cosmic sea." Relief washed over Zora, so intense it made her knees weak. Earth was safe. She had done it. But their trials were not over yet. Alarms blared once more, and Sen's voice cut through the moment of triumph. Multiple ships dropping out of hyperspace. It's the Galactic Alliance fleet." The view screen split, showing the approaching armada of the Alliance. Leading the charge was a massive dreadnought, its weapons primed and ready to fire. "No," Zara cried out. "They don't understand. We have to stop them before." Her words were cut off as the dreadnought opened fire, its energy beams lancing towards the now dormant Void Eater fleet. But before they could connect, a shimmering barrier sprang into existence, absorbing the attack harmlessly. The geometric face of the Void Eater consciousness reappeared on the screen. "We will not fight," it declared, "but neither will we allow ourselves to be destroyed. Young one, you must speak for us. Help them understand, as you have understood." Zara nodded, squaring her shoulders. This was it, the true test of her abilities, not just as a prodigy, but as a bridge between worlds. "Open a channel to the Alliance flagship," she ordered, her voice ringing with authority far beyond her years. As the comlink established, she took a deep breath, preparing to make the most important speech of her young life. "This is Zara Thompson of Earth," she began, her words broadcast across the entire fleet. "Stand down your weapons. The Void Eaters are not our enemy. They never were. What we have here is a chance for understanding, for cooperation on a scale we've never imagined. I've seen inside their minds. They have technology, knowledge that could revolutionize our understanding of the universe. And they need our help." She paused, letting her words sink in. "We stand at a crossroads. We can choose fear, choose to perpetuate a cycle of violence based on misunderstanding. Or we can choose hope, choose to reach out across the cosmic divide and forge a new future, not just for Earth, not just for the Galactic Alliance, but for all sentient life in the universe." As Zara's impassioned plea echoed across the stars, the fate of galaxies hung in the balance. The next few moments would determine whether this would be remembered as the start of a new age of cosmic cooperation, or the beginning of a war that would consume universes. And at the center of it all stood a 12-year-old girl from Earth, her eyes shining with the light of distant stars, and the promise of a future yet unwritten. A new era for humanity. The silence that followed Zora's impassioned speech seemed to stretch for an eternity. In that moment, balanced on the knife edge between war and peace, the fate of multiple civilizations hung in the balance. Then, slowly, miraculously, the weapons of the Galactic Alliance fleet powered down. A new face appeared on the view screen, a being of crystalline structure that sparkled with inner light. "I am High Commander Zillax of the Galactic Alliance," it announced, its voice resonating with authority and a hint of awe. "Young Zara of Earth, you have given us much to consider. We request a parley." Relief washed over Zara, so intense it made her knees weak. She had done it. She had bought them time, a chance for understanding. But she knew the real work was just beginning. The next few days were a whirlwind of negotiations, explanations, and revelations. Zara found herself at the center of it all, translating not just words but entire concepts between the Void Eaters, the Galactic Alliance, and the hastily assembled representatives from Earth. Dr. Marcus Chen proved invaluable during this time, his background in xenobiology helping to bridge the gap between human understanding and the vastly alien biology of the Void Eaters. Together, they unraveled the complex history of these interdimensional refugees, their tragic flight from a dying universe, and the accident that had corrupted their base code. As the truth came to light, attitudes began to shift. What had begun as a tense standoff evolved into a collaboration unlike any the galaxy had ever seen. The Void Eaters, their consciousness restored, proved to be a wellspring of knowledge, their multidimensional perspective offering insights into the nature of reality itself. But it was Earth that stood to gain the most from this cosmic confluence. As the last world the Void Eaters had approached before their restoration, Earth was chosen as the site for a grand experiment, the establishment of a new galactic hub, a place where the knowledge and technologies of 1,000 worlds would converge. Zara stood on a hilltop overlooking her hometown, marveling at how much had changed in the few short months since her return. The skyline was transformed, gleaming spires of alien architecture rising alongside familiar human structures. In the distance, the skeletal framework of a space elevator reached towards the stars, a physical embodiment of humanity's newfound connection to the cosmos. Quite a view, isn't it? A familiar voice said behind her. Zara turned to see Dr. Chen approaching, a smile on his face. It's incredible, Zara replied, her voice filled with wonder. Sometimes I still can't believe it's real. Chen nodded, his eyes scanning the horizon. You've changed the course of human history, Zara. Hell, you've changed the course of galactic history. Zara felt a blush creep into her cheeks. Despite everything she'd been through, part of her was still the 12-year-old girl who got embarrassed by too much praise. I just did what anyone would have done, she mumbled. Chen laughed, a warm, genuine sound. I don't think anyone could have deciphered an alien artifact, rewritten the base code of a multidimensional species, and prevented an intergalactic war, all before their 13th birthday. Before Zara could respond, a shimmering portal opened in the air before them. Sen stepped through, its pearlescent skin glowing in the late afternoon sun. Apologies for the interruption, the Exendry said, but the council is assembling. They await your presence, Ambassador Thompson. Zara nodded, straightening her shoulders. The title still felt strange to her, but she was learning to embrace it. As Earth's appointed liaison to the Galactic Alliance and the Void Eaters, she had a crucial role to play in shaping the future of interstellar relations. Duty calls, she said to Chen with a small smile. Wish me luck. Chen placed a hand on her shoulder, giving it a gentle squeeze. You don't need luck, Zora. You've got something far better. That brilliant mind of yours. As Zara stepped through the portal with Sen, emerging in the newly constructed Galactic Council chamber, she felt a familiar mix of excitement and nervousness. The chamber was filled with beings from across the cosmos, their forms as varied as the stars themselves. And at the center of it all, a holographic representation of the Void Eater consciousness, its geometric patterns shifting in complex, beautiful ways. High Commander Zilax called the council to order, its crystalline form glittering under the chamber's lights. Esteemed representatives of the galaxy, we are gathered here today to discuss the next phase of our grand collaboration. Ambassador Thompson, if you would begin. Zara stepped forward, her young voice ringing clear and confident through the chamber. Thank you, High Commander. Honored members of the Council, I stand before you not just as a representative of Earth, but as a symbol of what we can achieve when we reach across the divides of species, of dimensions, of understanding itself. As she continued her speech, outlining plans for technological exchange, cultural integration, and collaborative scientific endeavors, Zara couldn't help but reflect on the journey that had brought her to this moment. From a stargazing girl in a cornfield to a key player on the galactic stage, it had been a transformation beyond her wildest dreams. But more than that, it had been a transformation for all of humanity. In the span of a few short months, Earth had gone from an isolated world on the brink of destruction to a central hub of interstellar cooperation. The challenges ahead were immense, but so were the opportunities. As Zara concluded her speech to enthusiastic approval from the assembled representatives, she caught sight of her reflection in one of the chamber's polished surfaces. She saw not just herself, but the countless beings behind her, a tapestry of life from across the cosmos. And in that moment, she knew that this truly was the dawn of a new era, not just for humanity, but for all sentient life in the universe. The little girl who had once gazed up at the stars, dreaming of what might be out there, had found her answer. And it was more wonderful, more complex, and more filled with potential than she could have ever imagined. As the council session continued, plans being made that would shape the destiny of galaxies, Zara allowed herself a small private smile. The cosmic chess game wasn't over. In many ways, it was just beginning. But now, thanks to understanding, cooperation, and a healthy dose of human ingenuity, the pieces were aligned for a future brighter than any star in the sky. The universe, with all its infinite possibilities, awaited. And Zara Thompson, the cosmic prodigy, Earth's unexpected champion, was ready to face whatever challenges it might bring.